What's up everybody, it's HomiesOfMars back again today with another video. Alright, so today's video is going to be about the Acclaim versus the Ancient Stone Sword. I know many people out there think that the Ancient Stone Sword has the highest DPS in the game, alright? And by that, you'd be wrong. In fact, even the Sky Splitter Sword has more DPS in some instances than the Ancient Stone Sword. So why do we still have it in the game? Why do people buy it? Why is it even an untiered sword? Well, first of all, its range is 4 compared to the 3.5 from the Acclaim, and it does more damage per shot. But let's see, when you put this sword on and you look at this again, the rate of fire shows you negative 40%, so it's 40% less shots out compared to the Acclaim. So that means what? What does that mean? Basically, you're going to do less DPS. Rhymes, right? So I've got some actual figures here, and by the way, this is all based on a warrior with 77 attack and 52 dexterity, not boosted, alright? So let's look at a couple things. If you're in Godlands farming gods, alright, this is the average defense for gods, which is about 20. So if you're in Godlands and you're farming gods, here's how much DPS you could do with the Ancient Stone Sword. Damage per second is 2,800, alright, and with the Acclaim is 3,100. That is 4,000 DPS difference. So we can already see with Realm Gods, the Ancient Stone Sword does less DPS. Alright. Now some of you might be thinking, well, what about things with higher defense, like a Stone Guardian? Because that definitely alters DPS. I'm not going to go into it, but that definitely alters DPS a lot with swords. So if you're looking at 100 defense mobs, alright, like the Stone Guardian, your Ancient Stone Sword does 2,400, well actually it's about 2,500 DPS, and your Acclaim does about 2,600. So that's still about 2,000 to, actually I'd say it's more about 1,000 more DPS than the Ancient Stone Sword. So either way, all the way from Realm Gods to Guardians, Stone Guardians, you still have more higher DPS than the Acclaim. And if you want to know, Orcs 1 and Orcs 2, which have like 52 defense, the Ancient Stone Sword does 2,600. Actually, it's more like 2,700, and the Acclaim does around 2,900 DPS or damage per second. So you still have higher DPS with the Acclaim all across the board. So why do people still use this sword? I actually really don't know, except for this. It's because people don't actually know. They just see the fact that it does more damage. You can see 340 to 390, and this only does 220 to 275. Obviously, this does more damage per shot, but because it has a rate of fire less than the Acclaim, you're obviously going to get less DPS. So I will tell you this, I'm not saying that this sword does not have any uses, although I don't use it, I don't hold it, I feel like it's pointless. But it does have some uses that I've found that may really not be that important, but here are the uses of it, and that is one thing. Basically, if you're at Orcs 2 or Wine Cellar, basically, and you only are able to get one shot into Orcs 2, I'm going to be using the Ancient Stone Sword because I can do about, I believe, almost up to 800, or no, not 800. It's pretty much double with 50 attack, so you'll do about 600 damage to 700 damage with the Ancient Stone Sword on Orcs. On Orcs 2, I believe. So if you're only able to get one shot in, you want to use the Ancient Stone Sword. But if you have Orcs 2 stunned and you're sitting right on top of him, use the Acclaim, because this is going to do more damage in 2 shots than this does in 1. Alright, so that is the only reason you want to use your Ancient Stone Sword. So in reality, after seeing this video, I hope you guys trade out or sell this Ancient Stone Sword if you want to. I mean, you can keep it because it is a cool looking item and it's fun to have all the cool swords in the game. But really, guys, the Ancient or the Acclaim is going to have higher DPS. So I hope for some of you that did not know the difference between these swords know now. So you guys can go ahead and buy this Acclaim, because this thing is only like, well, I don't know the exact price in the future, but it's always going to be, the Acclaim's always going to be less than the Ancient Stone Sword. So basically making this thing a lot more worth buying than the Ancient Stone Sword. Anyways, before I go, guys, I wanted to go ahead and tell you guys the Demon Blade's DPS. So I'm going to be basing it the Demon Blade versus the Acclaim. So if you look at Realm Gods, again, the Acclaim still, yes, it does about 3,100 DPS. But when you look at the DBlade, it does 4,000 DPS. That's like a 9,000 difference. I mean, obviously you're going to have to sit on the Realm Gods, or, you know, whatever you're fighting in Godlands, because you have two shots shot out with the Demon Blade. So if you guys don't know what this looks like, see that? Basically, the only way to get that DPS is if you're sitting right on them to get both shots in. So you're gonna have to sit right in front of them, but usually you're a knight. So if you have, you know, max defense rocking here, you're gonna be fine. And that's what makes the Demon Blade so fun to farm Godlands with. And of course, if you want to look at the Stone Guardian, it's always better to use the Demon Blade, because it does 2,900 DPS compared to the Acclaim, which does 2,600. That's only like a 3,000 difference, but it's still better. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will be going to make another video as soon as I can. I do like making these videos for you guys. Anyways, guys, you have a good rest of the day. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel, like, and comment to see... I want to hear what your comments on this. I want to see what you guys think about this video, and maybe some of you might actually have some more tips for why you'd use the Ancient Stone Sword, because I'm sure some of you might want to defend what you're saying here. But, in all honesty, Ancient Stone Sword pretty much sucks, I'm sorry to say, compared to the Acclaim. See you guys later.